How far back can a mirror look? Or is the radar better? Ah, the radar. What's a radar? And why should you have one on your bike? How come when I tested it, I had a car follow me and it didn't show up on the radar at all? Will it work in a group ride? Do I need a Garmin computer to use the Garmin Radar? Do I still need to look behind me? These and many other questions will be answered in this quick bare bones Garmin test video. And like most of the time, I did not get this product for free. I spent my own money on it. So I would really appreciate a like, subscribe, that helps out my channel. Well, let's get into it. So what does this device actually do? What is a radar? A radar is a radiological system that uses radio waves to determine the distance, angle, and radial velocity of an object relative to the sight. The sight being a bicycle? So how come it didn't pick up the car that was following me on my last ride? Turns out, radar systems are not able to detect stationary objects, only moving ones. Ah, because the car that was following me was going exactly as fast as I, so it became stationary to the radar, therefore invisible. So if you want to make a left-hand turn, take up more of the lane, or pass another rider, you should always still complete a shoulder check. Shoulder check? Shoulder check. Why is that such a hard word? A shoulder check. And now you know. So it doesn't do that. So what is it good for? And why do so many people that have them love them? The radar basically detects any moving object from as far as 140 meters or 150 yards that is speeding towards you. I mean, any object speeding towards you. It could be a truck, a train, a motorcycle, a rollerblader, whatever. Depending on the device or app connected, you will get a color-coded alert bar and display how far and how fast something is moving. You can also turn on an audible alert, which is super helpful as you don't have to keep looking down at your device. It's amazingly accurate and had zero missed or false warnings. One thing that will happen if a car is behind you and it turns off, it basically will vanish from the radar because it's no longer traveling towards you. That makes sense. Now in group rides, it will not recognize the other riders as they're all traveling at the same speed. And depending on the spacing between the riders and how many riders are behind you, it can still pick up most vehicles moving towards the group if it gets a glance at it for a moment. So you might say, I don't need a radar, I can just use my mirror. Alright, stop it, let's compare. So far, the radar says no car coming. The mirror says no car coming. All the mirrors say there's no cars coming. Let's see where I'm gonna, let's have to adjust this a little bit. There it is. Have to see where am I gonna pick up the car from first. Ah, the radar wins. I haven't seen it yet. There he is. Alright. Yeah. 2-0 for the radar. Basically on every ride I've been on with the radar beats the mirror and warns way before I can see it. Plus I don't have to keep staring into the mirror. Okay, let's have a look at the unit itself. The Garmin Varia weighs in at 71 grams. Which is about the same than other large lights, and smaller lights are only something like 23 grams lighter. So for being more than just a light, that's pretty light. It's a light light. It's a light light. On the back side you have the typical Garmin quarter turn mount. That comes with all the options for fitting it on anything, from a round to an arrow seat post and whatever lies between. I actually ended up getting a Turista. No, Tusita. If I could read, it would help. Because of the cost of the unit, since I paid for it, the little rubber bands holding it in place just didn't do it for me, and I wanted a little more secure bolt-on version. Bolts are good. At the bottom of the unit, you have a nice rubber cover over the charging port where you plug in your USB cord. At the top, you have only one button. This is where you turn it off and on, or you hold it for 2 seconds to pair a new Bluetooth device. Then of course there's the light itself. They added these nice little red side windows left and right so you get more visibility from the side. And last but not least, there's the indicator light. Blinking green for charging, solid green when it's completely charged, blue and purple for indicating your Bluetooth connection. Setup's pretty easy. If you don't have a bike computer and ride with your phone, you can use it with the Ride GPS app or the Garmin Varia app. For quick and easy use with the Varia app, you don't even need an account or a login to start using the radar. Just pair it to Bluetooth and you're up and running in no time. Now most of us probably have a bike computer, and I can tell you that the setup on the Wahoo Element and on the Karoo 2 are super easy. Just select, add sensor, and follow instructions. It also works on Stage's head units, but I have no clue how they work, so I can't really talk about it. Once connected to the computer, you can change between light settings and turn on, turn off audible. Super easy and not much to it. You can also see how much battery power is left right on the head unit. I don't have a newer Garmin computer anymore, so I can't tell you how easy those are. After switching to a Karoo 2, also paid for by me, which runs on an Android operating system, which is super fast, I haven't looked back at any Garmin units, but maybe they're better now. Garmin? I'll test it. Battery life on the radar is up to 16 hours in flash mode, and obviously less in more brighter or continuous modes. Also, the light will change to a bright, faster flashing when it detects approaching vehicles, so that will also affect your battery life. Okay, so here are my 2 cents of why I really like this technology for bikes. Unlike a mirror on your helmet or bars, the radar is an active device, meaning it's doing the work for you. Unlike a mirror where you have to look into it to find and see the cars behind you, the radar is constantly looking, scanning no matter what you do. And then when it detects a vehicle approaching, it actively is trying to get a hold of you. It's trying to get your attention with audible sounds and blinking lights. I found the radar most helpful on quiet country roads, when there are sometimes many minutes that go by without any cars passing at all. You don't have to worry about continuously riding super close to the edge until the radar gives you a warning. Another huge plus is when you're riding at higher speeds and the wind noise gets kind of loud. You can't really hear any approaching vehicles from behind, but the visual on the computer is super helpful, and even the audible sound, since it's coming from the front, it still gets through. Plus, when you're descending down windy country road, you want to be able to take the best lines through the turns. Doing the outside, inside, outside thing is much safer than riding close to the gutter at the edge of the road. A quick glance at your head unit will let you know if anything's closing in on you or if you're free to take the best lines. All in all, at a price of $149, it's not cheap, but if you're in the process of buying a taillight anyway, you might as well put that money towards a radar and you get 2 for 1. I think these are totally worth the money, and now that I've tested it, I'm probably gonna have to get a second one for my wife. Being aware of all the vehicles around you is super important. But you know what's crucial? Also being seen. I made a video about bike lights that you might wanna have a look at because there's a lot to be said about bike lights.